Welcome, low ego action heroes. I'm Debbie Levitt from dcx, and welcome to episode 246. We must fight for quality. This is an article and conversation that grew out of some things I've just seen the last couple of weeks. Hi, Alan. Yeah, quality is Queen, King, Jack, Ace, and everything else. Robert Powell had a great LinkedIn post recently saying he's not reviewing portfolios anymore and how that bothered some people. And I saw that explode into this whole fight. Should we have portfolios or not? And then, meanwhile, I'm watching someone fighting about UX versus UI. And then I'm watching product managers fight over product manager versus product owner. And I'm thinking, we're all caught in these very peripheral disagreements and battles, and we're not fighting the core thing. And while we're not looking at the core thing, it's totally like a magician going, look over here, look over here. And meanwhile, the magician's doing everything with this hand, and we're all falling for it. And I think it's really important for us to all get refocused on quality. And I mean, everybody, no matter what your role is in tech, if you are a marketer, a product manager, a salesperson, a strategist, an analyst, UX researcher, UX designer, service designer, content strategist, product owner, scrum master, engineer, you name it. I'm talking to you. Forget about some of these peripheral fights, because if we can start making some headway in the battle for quality, then the other things will come more naturally. When we're fighting for quality, we'll see accountability. When we're fighting for quality, we'll see somebody who cares about what our job is and how we're doing it. Hello, Itan. This, as always, will be first quick thank you to everybody who's a paid Patreon, past, present, and future. We also have a free Patreon tier. So you know what? Just join the Patreon. Patreon.com/CXCC. You can also join our community. We've got Slack and Discord. dcx.to will link you to everything, including my new courses that are coming up in the fall. So sign up. But this is an audience, these article readings are for audience participation. I want to know if you agree or disagree or see it differently or whatever it is. Your comments and questions are all welcome. Even if you 9,000% disagree with me, I want to hear it, because these are the conversations we need to have. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to read the article. We're going to keep the chat open so you'll be able to see comments people are making on both LinkedIn and YouTube. So welcome, chatters. Hello, Faye. So let's do the watching the sausage made, and then let's open up my article. Okay, so here we go. You should be seeing my Medium article. You can find this article on both Medium and my LinkedIn newsletter. So however you get to the article, get there. You should see the chat room and me and some other good stuff. So I'm going to just read this out loud, and that way you have the freedom to type whatever you want while I'm talking. Some things I might respond to immediately, some things I might wait for later. But I just published this 2 days ago, so it's still super fresh, and some people haven't read it yet. But it is called "We Must All Fight for Quality." It's the third week of July 2024, and CrowdStrike brought the world to a halt. Reports suggest that a bad patch or update took a wild number of Windows computers and systems out of service. The company that was supposed to keep you safe made so much of the world unsafe in just minutes. Meanwhile, on my LinkedIn, someone wants me to read their article on UX versus UI and what our titles should be. Multiple other people in my LinkedIn feed are posting about product manager versus product owner. What should we be called? And do we need both or maybe neither? For over 10 years, I've watched so many people in tech fight the wrong battles. And with AI winking at replacing us, we're running out of chances to fight. The battle is, and always should have been, quality. Give me any job title you like, but let me do my work with quality. We need to ensure that we have a good process in place. We must empower both individuals and teams. We plan time to create and release quality. Deciding that we'll just ship it and fix it later, and even when we know it's already broken, shouldn't meet decent standards for quality. Quality, quality, quality. Quality in who we hire, quality in our processes, quality in our strategies. Don't call a to do list of features a strategy. If your strategy changes weekly, it probably lacks quality and vision and strategy. Quality in our data and how we present it. Did someone manipulate research or data so that things look better than they are? Are we telling ourselves the truth? Do we use bad, flawed, or invalid data to greenlight something we want to do? Quality in outputs and outcomes. Quality everywhere along that good old value stream. Quality in the eyes of customers, users, and everybody in our experience ecosystem. Not just the quality of business focused metrics. Company values should inspire and drive quality. Do we have tangible, clear values like honesty, transparency, integrity, quality, and empathy? How are those baked into our processes, teams, work, and outputs? How are we living up to our values to create and support always increasing quality? Bonus. Here are CrowdStrike's company values. Are they living them in every decision? How does fanatical about customers show up in the actions they choose? Or is this a fluffy buzzword soup that doesn't support quality? Quote, we are fanatical about the customer, relentlessly focused on innovation, and believe that our limitless passion drives unlimited potential for every crowd striker. End quote. Quality should have been our fight at every step. You want to do design thinking or design sprints? Okay, but let's check the time we spend on that and its outputs and outcomes for quality. Ideas never go to market. Most of the ones that do fail. These methods were for innovation, but we didn't innovate or invent anything. We lost good workers who quit after watching important work turned into workshop games. Poor quality, high risks, and unwanted consequences should force us to examine what's going on and if changing or removing these practices create improvements. Oh, you want to be agile? Okay, let's talk about quality, not just continuous delivery or speed. We shouldn't continuously deliver garbage. Agile is supposed to be about delivering quality and value on a recurring, reliable cadence, not turning the factory floor to 110% of safe speed. Same for lean. You want a culture of experimentation? You want everything on the green earth turned into an A/B test? Okay. But how are we making sure that we only test or experiment with good ideas that are likely to succeed? Is customer experience a priority, or do we only measure business goals? Do we care about the quality of our outcomes? Do we understand why we failed? Or do we just throw another dart at the board and hope this new guess will be better? You want to democratize specialized work? If you want to democratize, dilute, or share specialized work with people ranging from non specialists to never done this before, how will we measure quality? How will we check that this work is being done well? How do we identify and handle the risks of flawed or manipulated research? How early can we catch quality problems now that will cause problems later or are already causing problems? Product market fit eats everything for breakfast and nothing else matters. Are you creating high quality products and services for which there is a sizable market that really needs this? Are you meeting and exceeding target audiences' expectations? Once you think you've found product market fit, are you delivering high quality in every touch point? Or did someone tell you that once you claim you have product market fit, you're good and don't really have to think much about customers? You want to lay people off because it lowers expenses and could bump our stock price? Okay, but did we calculate the risk of that? How might fewer people working on fewer projects affect quality, morale, productivity? Did we weigh potential or short term gains against the possibility or already happening short and long term risks, losses, or consequences? Quality. That's all we really have. The rest is smoke, mirrors, vanity, and manipulation. And we'll need conversations around AI related quality before AI takes our jobs, and we're not here to bring up the topic of quality. We're headed down the same path as always. People are excited about a new book, method, technology, or approach. We forget about quality. We make too many excuses. We excuse failures, bad decisions, and unethical initiatives. Specialists and experts are saying AI isn't good, accurate, or reliable enough to do my job well. Others are saying, but it'll do the work fast, it's okay, and it's getting better. The conversation there shouldn't be about how fast work might get done. It should focus on how well or poorly the work will be done. Don't allow excuses. Talk about quality. But if someone makes a mistake, we should welcome failure and excuse that mistake. Maybe not. A mistake is, oops, I did the wrong thing. Typically because I didn't know better. With even a few well qualified engineers on staff, CrowdStrike would have known better about testing their update and how to deploy it. Who overruled the people who knew better? Who told them a deadline was more important? Or just ship it? Hint, if you don't deploy an hint, you don't deploy an update like that to everybody everywhere all at once. If you're rolling something out to production that has the potential for mass destruction, and especially if it wouldn't be easy to fix since it crashes machines, canary testing is one of many methods that would have prevented CrowdStrike's failure. Then I've got a picture that I found on a website about canary testing. Basically, if you are going to just push something live, you roll it out to a small percentage of users and definitely not the most important systems on the planet. And you make sure that that goes well before you roll it out to more users or everybody. The CrowdStrike defenders and apologists seem strange to me. I've seen some LinkedIn posts about how we shouldn't dunk on CrowdStrike because this could have happened to anyone. It shouldn't happen to anyone. Experts and processes should be in place to prevent this. We're lucky that this rarely happens. Our systems are generally built well enough that entire companies or industries don't shut down because of one or more bad lines of code. Someone else posted that it's just hindsight. If we had known earlier what CrowdStrike's update release process was, we probably wouldn't have seen the problem. Based on what I've read about what the problem was, yes, we absolutely would have seen the problem. It sounds like anybody who understands code, QA, and Windows would have seen a line of code that made it likely to blue screen a Windows computer. Why assume that this is a good process? Why give them the benefit of the doubt? That question gets weirder when you consider the strange fact that the CEO of CrowdStrike was the CTO at McAfee when they had a disastrous tech failure in another update. Continually excusing the same mistake or the same person sounds cool, but isn't working for customers or the world. We shouldn't excuse this. If you care about quality, what's your excuse here? It can happen to anyone, might comfort your teen who didn't get asked to the dance, but this is corporate computer security and reliability. In this case, it already happened to this person, and he doesn't seem to have learned from it. We can pretend that I didn't know is a mistake, but does that sad excuse work? We should have known. Did we really not know? Why didn't we know? Did someone know, but we didn't listen to their warnings? Did someone know, but we told them deadlines or what leadership asked for was more important? It's good enough. We'll fix it later. Let's just do it my way, and the like aren't excuses, at least not good ones. All of these imply that you know there are risks, or you know the problems already exist, but we're doing it anyway. All of this is risk and it's avoidable. None of this is unforeseeable. It's where we should be talking about quality and accountability, but we're still avoiding these conversations. We thought it would be cool to follow the advice of a 15-year-old book about startups that has helped over 90% of startups fail, or a newer book that mostly reworded the older book. Or we followed a book that focuses on business goals and speed over customer and user experiences. The book waves at delighting users, but doesn't deliver a method that's a true path to customer delight. The method is a path to meeting deadlines and business goal focus, though not necessarily business goal achievement. We passed around podcasts and articles with high level leadership excusing high failure rates for experiments and product launches. Instead of getting to the root causes of failure and making changes so that we're more successful, we normalize high failure rates. Nothing to change, nobody to be held accountable here. Conversations should be about quality. Tie everything back to quality, every strategy, priority, and decision. How does this create quality for customers and users? How does this create internal quality? How does this create or support a high quality process with high quality outputs and outcomes? What time, money, and resource investment do we need for good or great quality? What are the costs of poor quality? What are the risks of deciding that quality is optional, secondary, or something we keep pushing off to the future? Which quality problems occur when specialized work is done by non specialists, including robots pretending to be specialists? Have the tough conversations. And once we start talking about quality and truly caring about it, we can open conversations on accountability for those who block or deprioritize quality. And that is my article. Let's see what kinds of comments and questions we have. We have a few comments from I10, though we welcome comments. Go ahead. Let's have them. Let's see if I'm missing any on LinkedIn. Sometimes they don't show up. We have Alan. Um, so I10, thank you, I10, for the applause. Thank you. I10 said +1 to vision. Most companies don't have long-term vision. Yeah, I had a job interview in May, and somebody asked me why I had never created a strategy for a company that went beyond 1 year. And I said, because whenever I try to create a strategy that goes beyond 1 year, I'm told I'm not agile, as if I'm not going to adjust that strategy as I go. Some companies are afraid of having a long term vision, but I think we should have longer term visions. We can have long term strategies and then we can adjust them as we go if we find what's working and what's not working. That's just smart. Even if it's not agile, who cares about agile anymore? Let's be smart. I10 says, unfortunately, the bigger the company gets, the harder it is to ensure quality on an individual level. I've seen so many startups lowering their standards, not on purpose, once they grow. Yes, and that's exactly why I'm writing my new course, wrong side, my new course on product market fit. Because I find that when many smaller or startup companies believe they found product market fit, they really lower their quality standards. They kind of stop caring about users and customers, and somebody just says growth, growth, growth to them. And my thought is, how do you think you achieve growth? You're trying to grow through customer behaviors, conversions, customers buying more, customers licensing more. It's still very much about the customer and about the quality that they expect from us and that we can deliver to them. So a lot of this low quality stuff is really short-sighted. I10 says, I feel like even HR stops caring who they're hiring once they start hiring 10 people a week instead of one a month. Yeah, certainly once it feels like a farm where all the sheep are just going through the pen and out the other side, then you just start going, look, and you never know how these people are judged. Sometimes they are judged by quantity. I've seen teams judged by how many features did you ship, even if all the features were half built, totally disastrous, not fully working. But hey, did you ship 4 features? Well, then this is a good team, or this team met its goals. And it's quite possible that there might be some people in HR who were judged similarly. Hey, how many people did you hire this week? Doesn't matter if they were right for the job, wrong for the job, or other. It's numbers. And I think when we get over obsessed with these numbers, sure, some of these numbers can signify quality, but we get lost in the numbers. I talked about in my book about someone who saw someone on a discussion forum saying, "Look, our company really needs to raise our NPS, which is Net Promoter Score, which is usually seen as a customer satisfaction score, though we could fight that, but let's pretend it is." But the person had posted to the discussion forum, "We really want to raise our NPS. We kind of know what we're not doing right or what we could do better, but we don't want to do that. Can someone just give us some tips on how to quickly raise our NPS?" Well, now you just care about the number for the number's sake, and you don't even want to improve the quality and the products and services that would drive customers to want to give you a better score or be more naturally satisfied. I10 says, to be honest, it doesn't help when companies with low quality, hello Microsoft, make so much money. Entrepreneurs look up to those giants. Yeah, totally agree. And I've said that many times as well, that very often, especially a lot of people thought Facebook was some glowing god. And when Facebook said fail fast, everybody said, yeah, we should fail fast. And when Facebook said move fast and break things, everybody said, yeah, we should break things. But yet, time and time again, Facebook is not exactly a model we should follow. Facebook is involved in so many controversies every year. So many people question its ethics. So many people question its business decisions. Hello, metaverse. So we look at a lot of these companies that do a lot wrong and we think, well, I want to be that big. I want to have a lot of users. Sure, we all want to have a lot of users like Facebook has, but that doesn't mean that we want to be as controversial or as unethical or as low quality or as destructive. There's got to be other ways to be successful and make money on this planet other than firing ethicists and throwing quality out the window. So there are many good models to follow, and people don't want to follow them. People will quote Steve Jobs up and down about how we've got to really understand our users and not just listen to what they say, but build what they need, even if they don't understand what they need. And then nobody does that. Nobody wants to take the time or money to understand their users because that would imply a quality-based process. Companies fired R&D teams that they really needed and claimed they were going to find innovation without the people mostly responsible for the innovation. Now I ask people to think, what's an innovation? Name the last innovation you can think of. What's the most recent thing that you can think of that was a true innovation? Bonus points if it's from a digital system, an online system of some sort, a website, an app, a SaaS system, not just like a medical discovery. Can anybody name something that was a true innovation, an invention, something you'd never seen before? It was so incredibly unique, it was disruptive. Every company is saying innovation, every company is saying empathy, but nearly zero companies are innovating. And worse than that, many of them aren't even getting the basics right. Their customer support tickets are full of complaints about not being able to get the basics right. If you've ever tried to apply for a job in Workday, you can't even get your phone number in there without getting an error message. I10 says Revolut made creating a bank account and transfer easy. Sure. I think some of the digital banks were pretty good with that. Revolut wasn't the first. There were digital only banks that came before them by about 10 years. I remember doing some work on digital only banking in 2016. Um, I'm more of a fan of Wise. I think Revolut is a little sketchy in places. Hashtag not sponsored. So yeah, that seemed disruptive to be able to do that. But again, I still question. Oop, there's the gong. So we're running low on time. But yeah, I think Revolut's an interesting answer. Though again, there were companies that predate them that were in the online banking space earlier. But sure, we could say online only banking with no branches was revolutionary and disrupted banking and continues to disrupt banking. So I like that. That's a pretty good choice. But with question marks, even you weren't sure, and ultimately. We can't think of too many of them. I can't think of too many of them because even when I think about some of the companies I love, it's not that they innovated something, they improved something. I like Monday.com, hashtag not sponsored, but it kind of improved on things that existed before them. They didn't invent something that had never been seen before. So I think that these are some things to think about. And so ultimately, I think before we start fighting each other on UX and UI and product design or UX design and product managers and product owners and all this stuff, ask yourself, are we having tough conversations about quality? That's it. That's what I want to leave you with. Are we having tough conversations about quality? Because if we can really start to have these conversations about quality, and if we start to truly measure and care about quality, then that should ripple out to the other things that we're worried about now. Will AI take our jobs? Not right now if we care about quality. But if we don't care about quality, sure, AI can do our jobs. It'll do them badly, and who cares? Because no one cares about quality. Just let AI stumble through that crap. Um, so this is what it's about. It's about quality. You could bring up any topic to me right now, any topic, controversial, not controversial. Like I said in the article, design thinking, design sprints, lean UX, Teresa Torres, name something else, democratization, everybody's a designer. All of these things are easy to have conversations about because I'm going to be focused on quality. And I'm going to tell you if you want to implement these in your company, you can. Treat them as an experiment and check for quality. Have standards. Compare what's going on to your standards. Does this stuff pass our standards? So many people tell me that their jobs bring in research democratization, where everybody's going to do research and analyze research and all that. And so many people tell me this didn't go well. We didn't get the outcomes we thought. We felt like we did more research, but we didn't do better research. And we had a lot of manipulated research, and we had a lot of bad research, and we had a lot of people who committed to doing research but then couldn't make time for research. And I go, okay, so does this meet our standards? Does this meet our standards for quality? And then, especially if we take a look at things like opportunity costs or what's the alternative? Well, what if we just hired a couple of researchers? What if we just hired a couple of full time researchers to devote themselves to great research work because that's their specialty, versus saying we're going to take small pieces of all of these people's times and make them into mini junior apprentice learning micro researchers who are still very much getting it wrong? How is that better? I haven't yet found an argument for this that to me goes with quality. Someone will say, well, it's really important for more people to collaborate. Okay, but there are ways for them to collaborate without having them do the tasks in research where the qualities make or break. There's so many obvious questions we can ask and so many things we can talk about when we start making the topic quality. When we make the topic, oh, my job is messy. Oh, I don't like that I answer to this person. Oh, I don't like my title. Hey, it's UX, not UI. Hey, and I go, talk about quality. That's all. It's your last chance. It's your last chance to talk about quality before they lay us off or replace us with AI. And both of these are already happening. Luckily, there are still some jobs, and there seem to be more jobs lately, and that's great. But I'm worried about what's on the other end of that hill. I-10 says, reminds me of my previous company. So many bugs, so many features missing. I told them so many times, but instead they chose to offer the product for so much cheaper and just make money instead of increasing the quality. Right, and knowing who your last employer was, who I won't say, they are definitely somebody who tries to compete more on price. I think I'm a paying customer. And I do okay in that system. I'm a minimal user of it, and I haven't turned on most of their features because their features didn't appeal to me. But yeah, yeah. Um, if you just want to keep shipping features, you can. But how's that working for you? Because then marketing people come to me. I was just on a marketing podcast. Did anyone watch that this week? I was just on a marketing podcast. Marketing people come to me. I've been on other marketing podcasts, and they go, our conversion rate stinks. Our churn is high, which means we don't retain customers. We don't keep them. They visit us and they don't buy again, or they're not loyal. You know, marketing people come to me with these problems, and they think they need more SEO. They think they maybe need to update their website a little bit. And it's like, sure, we can do those things, but how's the quality of what you're offering? How hard is it to market or sell this thing? Because it's not that good, because it doesn't really meet people's needs, because it doesn't really have product market fit, or it used to have product market fit, but you've messed with it so much since then that it's not really a good match to how people operate, their tasks, their mental models, their behaviors, their collaborators, their decisions. And people think, well, that's a marketing problem. And I go, it's a partnership problem between marketing and whoever is looking at customer and user experiences. That could be a CX team, that could be a service designer, that could be anybody. Again, I'm not going to get wrapped up in titles. But who is looking at this, and how can we make sure that that conversation goes back to quality? Because you can bump up the SEO, you can pay for ads, you can bring more traffic to a site, but bringing more traffic to a bad website or bringing more eyeballs to a poor product or service is unlikely to get you the conversion or growth that you're looking for. Where's the quality? So that's it. Talk about quality. Try an experiment. Try not dying on some of the hills that you've been dying on, and try talking about quality. Quality, risk, business metrics. If we treat customers this way, are they more likely to buy from us? If we play these tricks on customers, will they come back? You're worried about our quality, our satisfaction scores. If we do this crap to customers, will we see an improvement in scores? Quality, quality, quality. All roads lead to quality. I'm dropping most of my other fights. I'm not going to fight about design thinking anymore. I'm not going to fight about design sprints anymore. I'm not going to fight about lean UX anymore. If those magically bring fantastic quality and amazing successes to your company and fantastic team empowerment, great, do them. But if you're doing them and your teams are disempowered, your teams are order takers, your teams are throwing darts at a dartboard, your teams are lost in a guessing lasagna, your customers are unhappy, your support teams have to clean up messes, your salespeople have to go find new customers because we keep losing customers, then I'm going to say maybe this isn't working. Like, let it play out for itself. You want to try these techniques I don't like? Go ahead. I'm not going to fight you anymore, but watch them. Measure them. Find ways to measure them from internal perspectives. Find ways to measure them from external experience ecosystem perspectives. Is this really working for us? Time after time, people come to me privately and go, oh my God, our company baked design thinking into everything, and you were right, it's completely failing. Okay, then what do we do? Once we see that something's failing, do we go, well, it's cool that we tried it. I'm glad we were experimental. Yay, culture of experimentation. Now we've got to take it out or change it. Eat your own dog food. You claim to be innovative? Try new things. You claim to be experimental? Try new things. And then watch them for quality. That's it. That's all we've got left. That's it. Everybody who's posting to LinkedIn saying, oh, AI is not going to take my job. AI doesn't do my job well. Guess what? Nobody cares. If they cared about your job being done well, they would let you do your job well. If they cared about your job being done well, they wouldn't let an unqualified person do your tasks. Why is my dog crying? She agrees. So that's it. I'm going to wrap up. Thanks to everybody who's watching this. Normally, our webinars go out for 2 weeks, first to our Patreon members, and later on they go public, and everyone has access to them. But I already told the Patreon members this one I'm just letting go public. I don't want to wait the 2 weeks. Usually, Patreon members get the early access, the previews, both the paid and the free Patreon members. But this time, I just want this out there. Share this. Share this with your teammates and say, let's have some tough conversations about quality. Debbie's dog is crying because quality is so bad. All right. Thanks to everybody who joined us live or is watching the video later. Feel free to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. Helps in the algorithm. And please, please share this out. Do you want to be on the show, Olivia? So there you go. And I will next see everybody probably next week. I don't think we have any more webinars or shows this week. Yes, Friday is Critical Thinking on the Delta CX YouTube channel. And then we've got our weekly support group call over in Discord. So thanks again to everybody who joined. And I will catch y'all very soon. Thanks. And quality. Don't forget it.